Right guys, we are doing equations of lines today, and it's in the form of x equals b and y equals a. That means a being a number and b being a number. Don't get confused by the letters, and this is at this grade approximately. So let's try and do this starter, see how much you remember and test your prior knowledge. So we've got y equals x plus 3. Now my recommendation is always start with 0 or positive numbers, and I'm just going to start with 0. So you've got your x value of 0 here, so let x equals 0. So we've got x equals 0 plus 3. This is substitution, so y equals 3. Nice. So now we've got y equals, letting x equals 1 now, so y equals 1 plus 3, so y equals 4. Y equals 2 plus 3, so y equals 5, and you can work those out for yourself, but that's 2 and 1. Now this is something a bit more challenging and very important for straight line graphs, so let's write that out. Let's start with 0 again, so y equals, this means 2 times something, so that's 2 times 0 in this instance, so 2 times 0 minus 1, remember rules of BIDMAS guys, so y is going to actually equal 0 minus 1, so y equals minus 1 here. So when x equals 1, we're going to swap y equals 2 and swap the x for 1, 2 times 1 minus 1, that equals y equals 2 minus 1, so y equals 1, and y equals 2 times 2, because now we're going to let x equals 2, minus the 1, that becomes y equals 4 minus 1, and we know that is 3. You can work on the negative numbers yourself. I'll go through this in more depth in another video. That's going to be minus 3 and minus 5, purely because you've got the pattern that it's plus in 2 here each time, so going the other way it's got to be minus 2 because it's a straight line graph. Perfect. And this is a great girl power movie.
Oh, that's attractive. Good arm.
And such a lovely flowing locks.
Fergus.
What?
You understand the context of this in a bit for the lesson.
Oh, we lamb.
I just like this clip as well.
Oh, come on. Shoot, boy!
Oh, good shot, lad.
Well done, lad. Well done. Yeah. Feast your eyes. That's my line. Well, that's just grand now, isn't it? Guess who's coming to dinner? Oh, by the way, hope you don't mind being called Lady Dick.
You go, girl. That's girl power.
Merida, firstborn descendant of clans and Rock, and I'll be shooting for my own hand.
What?
What are you doing? Merida! Curse this dress!
Yes.
Merida, stop this! Don't you dare loose another arrow! Merida, I forbid it!
Great shot. Gonna play it one more time. Arrows do bend in the air like that when you shoot them. So we're going to go through my targeting system that I use for archery. I've only done archery twice, but I can hit bullseye over 90% of the time. Maybe there'll be a day I'll put, oh, scary mum. For equation of lines, we need to hit the bullseye using two lines, equation y equals a and x equals b. This is an example for you. So that line is a line y equals 3. Because, let me show you, if you look at this coordinate here, that coordinate is -5, 3 across the hall before you go up and down the stairs. Now that's the y coordinate, and here's the x coordinate here. Let's choose another one. X here is -3 and y here is 3, and let's choose one over here. X is 6 here, y is 3. Now it's called the line y equals 3 because can you see every point on this line the y coordinate is 3. So the next line has to be x equals 2, so to hit the bullseye, and that's for the same reason here. Can you see this is the coordinate 2 minus 2? That coordinate is 2, 0, and that is 2, 6. Can you see that x coordinate? Even though the y coordinate changes, that x coordinate always equals 2, so that's why that line is called x equals 2. Perfect. So give this a go yourself. Will Merida have to marry Donkey? Well, if you get it wrong, she will, but at least Donkey's kind of funny. So the lines will be that you need to draw a y equals 5 and x equals 4. What about the caveman? Let's start with the y first, then the x. So the y, guys, is y equals 3, and that will be x equals 2. Perfect. There's a worksheet on this at the end that you can print and try this yourself. Right. This is the guy who hit the bullseye, and she split the arrow on him. So, let's go. Yes, you've got it. Those are the two lines, and those are the lines of that one. Now, can you label them? That's y equals 3. That's x equals -5. If you've got that well done, you've got this really quickly. That's x equals -4. And the last one is y equals -4. Ooh, Diddy or Daddy Kong. And Pikachu! Pika Pika! Right. Now, people do get confused with this. Because sometimes they might call this the line x equals 0 because it's on the x-axis, but in fact this is y equals 0 because if I show you this coordinate, that's x, that's y. Can you see y equals 0? And I'll just do another one here. That's 2, 0, x is 2, y equals 0 again. That's why that line is y equals 0, but people do make the mistake and call that x equals 0, but that is the x-axis and y equals 0. So this one is of course x equals 0 because every coordinate here that coordinate is 0, 4, and that is 0, 6 because there's no movement across the hall, it's just going up or down the stairs. That's 0, -4, and you can see x equals 0, x equals 0, and so forth. So this is, can you be like Merida and split the arrow? We remember that's y equals 0. This is x equals 0. So how can we split this arrow? Imagine Pikachu's already hit the bullseye. What two lines can we use? Well, this is this one, which you might be familiar with, and that's called y equals x. Just doing this for extra understanding, whether you know it or not. So can you see this coordinate is 4, 4. And let's call this one 2, 2. And let's call this one, well, this is minus 3, minus 3. Now if I put the x there and the y, x, y, x, y. Can you see x equals y or y equals x? That's why it's called a line y equals x. Now, what's this one called? You do need to remember this. This is a line y equals minus x. And I'll show you why. Look at this coordinate right here. Can you see the x coordinate is minus 6 and the y coordinate is 6? And this is minus 3 and 3. So x, y, x, y. And can you see y is 6, but x is a negative value of 6, so x is minus 6. Y is 3, so x is minus 3. And that's why that line is called y equals minus x. Right, now for your plenary. Give that a go yourself, guys. See if you can do this. But if you can, you've achieved the objective today. That is the line x equals 3. Now that line is, of course, y equals 1. Just a good habit to just write that down. It does help you remember. So that will get you a mark, get you 1 mark. Write down the coordinates where the two lines meet. Well, they meet right here. And so across the hall, before you go up and down the stairs, that's got to be 3, 1. On the grid, draw the graph y equals minus 2. Y is minus 2 here. Just draw a straight line like that and use a ruler. That's y equals minus 2. That's a nice mark here. Complete the table of values for y equals 3x plus 1. That's why I had this starter. So let's start with 0. So y equals 3 times 0 plus 1. Now I know that means y equals 0 plus 1. So that is 1 here. I'll rub that out later. So we've got y next equals 3 times 1 plus 1. I don't know why I did that. Let's use a eraser. So y equals 3 times 1, add 1, bid mass, apply, so y equals 3 plus 1, and that equals 4. So y equals 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1, that's 7. That's minus 2, and we'll work on that some more, and that line is like that, but it should cross the 1. You get marks for plotting the coordinates. 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark. That's 1 mark for getting 3 out of 4 coordinates. Then you get 2 marks for a complete table of values. That's correct. And 2 marks, 1 mark for plotting 3 correct coordinates correctly, and a mark for the straight line. And we are done. There's a worksheet for you to print out and try this yourself and go through the video to check your answers. You can practice some other lines to test yourself. That's it. Well done, guys. Good work.